All right, guys, this is week number 2 of the June 30-day push. So welcome to all of you who are saying, no excuses. Here I am. I want to build my business. I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines and acting as though, I want to go somewhere, but I'm having trouble keeping the action, keeping things moving. So I have a few things that I definitely want to chat about, but the first thing that I ran across in my book, You're Made for a God-Sized Dream, by Holly Girth, so very good. This was the section that says, because dreams make you come alive. Can you guys all hear me? Put your thumbs up if you can hear me. Awesome. It says, we all know what it's like to simply go through the motions. We get up, move through our day, and drift off to sleep wondering if there's more to life. And no matter how much we try to silence it, something within us says, don't be satisfied with this. We brush it off and tell ourselves we need to be content, but the longing remains. Then one day we find the courage to say yes to the whisper within us and what we're being asked to do. We take the first step of faith and find that rather than falling, we suddenly feel like we're flying. Parts of who we are that have been dormant, perhaps for years, spring to life again. We discover we can do more than we thought we could in ways we might not even have imagined. Rather than an obligation, life begins to feel like an adventure. Hey, we know that word. We wake up in the morning and want to know what God is going to do in and through us today. We drift off to sleep dreaming about what comes next. Even in the hard moments, there's still the exhilarating feeling that we are fully engaged in the world around us, and we are right where we are supposed to be. There's a myth in Christian culture today. I loved this part, guys. She's a Christian lady. I love this. There's a myth in Christian culture today that says the promised land is only heaven. Like if you read the Bible, you hear often about the promised land, the Israelites, and trying to get to the promised land. So she's saying there's a myth in Christian culture that says that the promised land is only heaven. When I look through those chapters in Scripture, I just don't see that being true. Yes, the ultimate promised land is ours when we step from this life to the next, meaning heaven, but I believe God has so much for us right here and now too. We are made for a purpose, and until we are intentionally pursuing it, we feel half alive. We are dreamers waiting for someone to wake us up so the real adventure can begin. If you feel numb, depressed, or even just flat out bored, I don't believe that's God's plan for you. Yes, we all have seasons when we go through grief or experience difficulties. But if we live year after year in a state of just surviving, God has more for us. He didn't put you on this earth just so you could hold on by your fingernails until you get to heaven. He loves you and wants you to thrive. As one of my favorite verses says, the Lord be exalted, who delights in the well-being of his servant. Psalm 35, verse 27. But we have to agree with God that not only is this possible, but it's actually what he wants for us. The Israelites, I love this, wandered in the desert for 40 years. Okay, for 40 years they wandered in the desert. Because, why? They refused to believe God really could give them more. Did you hear that? They refused to believe that God could really give them more. They looked at the promised land, saw the abundance, and said that they were better off playing it safe. Like, I was just like, wow, when I read that part. Wow. They thought they were better off playing it safe. Don't settle. Don't give in to fear. Don't stand on the edge of all God has for you and be sent back to the desert. Oh, isn't that so good? Mm-hmm. I was just like, oh, man. Joe's like, I'm going to have my pizza and listen to Liz. The movie, right? I love it. So you're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be blessed. You're allowed to live a full life. Even more than allowed, this is what God ultimately wants for you. If you believe anything else, then you have been sold a lie. Now, let me be clear. All of the above doesn't come through doing whatever we want. That's not the way it works. but obedience is supposed to lead to joy. Even Jesus endured the cross for the joy set before him. Don't let the idea that suffering is part of the Christian life trick you into believing that it's the entirety of what God has for you. It's not even the majority. It's only a gateway that he will use to bring you into deeper joy in the end. So this was just awesome. This part was just so awesome. When I love that when he said, don't be like the Israelites who said, no, I think we had it better back there. I don't think that there really is something for us in the promised land. So, seriously, this is a blessing. This is what God has provided for each of us. There's a reason why you're here. Believe that, know that deep inside with all your being that you are here at such a time as this. Not as the verse doesn't say for such a time as then, or for such a time as that's going to come, but for such a time as this. All right, so let's get to this. PJ was so awesome, and maybe he's joining us by phone. PJ, if you're there, say hi. Maybe not. Okay, so he was the one, if you guys saw on the thread, he was the one that said that he started this Friday Successes, or Success Fridays. And so hopefully you guys all had a chance to look at his little YouTube link in there. If not, go back to that. It's Patrick Thornton, I think is how you say his last name. Check it out, watch it, and he'll explain how he used it in his, when he was in he called it a management position that he was in, and it really was something that very much helped turn around the culture of what was going on, which he believed was not good in the company that he was with. So I said, you know what, that's an awesome idea. And it was from the book called what did he call it? You guys remember? It wasn't The Energy Bus. That's the same author of a different book.
Ooh.
Oh, Soup. The Soup.
Yes.
That's where he got it from, the Soup. Yeah, I like soup too. So I definitely want to put, he's on. PJ, I see you. I don't see you. Can you unmute yourself? Or, you are unmuted. Now you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? We're going to call you out. We'll give him a second. But anyways, that was an awesome idea. He explained it to me, and I said, can you please make a little video on that and explain it so that we can, when we come together on our Wednesdays, we can shout out some successes. So right now, I'm going to call a few of you guys out, and we're a small enough group tonight that I think that we could probably have each of you share one success. Doesn't matter how big or how small, like PJ said. There's PJ. He's getting a little bit of hail. Oh, what happened? Did I lose my screen? There we go. There we go. All right, PJ, can you unmute yourself? Sorry, you're probably eating supper.
I'm trying to shout out carrots.
So that's a good healthy snack.
Yep.
So PJ, everybody loved your video. They loved it, loved it, loved it. People loved your energy. They loved your way that you're easily captivating. So it was really awesome. So I really appreciate you, PJ, sharing that with me and then putting the video together to share it with us so that we can carry that on here. So we don't meet on Fridays, but we can certainly have a Success Wednesday. So I think we should totally implement that. And so maybe just share a little bit for those that maybe didn't tune into the video quite yet in the thread. And then we're gonna actually have some people share some successes, and we're a small enough group, I think, that everybody can share at least one thing. Take a minute to share something that went awesome this last week. I don't care if you didn't sign up a little customer or distributor, something that was a success. Go ahead, PJ.
So I'll start out with a success for somebody that I know, and I'm super proud of him. And it's a big success. I guess it's not a small one. Like I said in the video, you can do both a small success and a big success. It really doesn't matter. It's just something that you're proud of. So my youngest brother is 20 years old, and he has his own lawn mowing service. He works for another guy on the side as well, but his goal is to have his own lawn mowing company. And this spring he bought a big enclosed trailer, and now just yesterday, actually, he picked up his second John Deere commercial lawnmower. So his business is growing. It's what he wants to do, and it's really, really fun to watch. So that's his success. I'm glad I get the opportunity to share it and brag about it because I'm super proud of him. So the idea of Success Fridays, or in this case, Success Wednesdays, is to share a success, to talk about what you're proud of, what you're thankful for that week, or any day for that matter. It doesn't have to be that week. It could be something that happened last week or the week before. Just something that for that moment you were really proud of, and you felt like you accomplished something or someone accomplished something. And the idea behind that is that you want to discuss successes with people because you want people to ask how you got there. And as a group, you want to learn from that opportunity. So when he had a success in getting this lawnmower, what did he do to get to that point? Because he did the right things to get to that point. So it's an opportunity to learn from each other as far as how to succeed. You know, in the video I talked about, everybody makes mistakes, and everybody always says, well, learn from your mistakes. Sure, that's well and fine, but what if the mistake didn't get you to a success? You know, how did you get to the success? Because the success was your goal, and you had to do the right things to get there. So focus on the things you did right and keep accomplishing your goals, and be proud of it, you know, and the more you focus on those things, the more you learn from it, and the more opportunity that you have to do those things again, or at least that's the knowledge that you can bring into a situation is the success you had. Bring that knowledge forward. So success breeds success is essentially the idea.
So,
Plus, why talk about negative things, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's enough negativity in the world. That's right. That's why we try to create this culture of just being so different from what's normally out there. So PJ, it's called The Soup, and it's by, what's his name again?
Jon Gordon.
I think it's Jon Gordon. I know I watched a little bit when I was working out. I actually looked it up on YouTube. I wanted to listen to kind of hear what it was about. And I also listened, oh, there you go. Soup.
Oh, nice.
Jon Gordon. Awesome. So I was listening to him speak and like share a few of his points. And then I also listened to another YouTube of the Energy Bus. So I think, PJ, that we all should get that book. We should go head on over to Amazon when we're done from this call, because we all know that you cannot do this business. What are you showing? Oh, this Amazon? How much is it? John can look and see if there's some used ones.
It's on Amazon.
It's what? How much?
$12.50.
$12.66 to grow your mind and grow your paycheck. So we know that so much of this business is about mindset, and so you cannot miss that piece when you're growing your business. I don't care how busy you are. Take 10 minutes per day, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, whatever, break time, to expand your mind. Because what are you going to do when things aren't so awesome? That's when the mindset thing carries you through those times. And obviously, my Lord, but you know, the mindset thing is very huge. So we got to feed that muscle. People think about all the other things you do, but you got to definitely work that muscle in your brain too to keep your mindset good. So I say let's all get that book, and I say let's start next week. Let's take the first half of our half an hour and discuss what we learned from, how many chapters are in it, Patrick? Are they long chapters?
Which book specifically? Are we looking at Soup or the Energy Bus?
Which one would you say that we should go for first?
I personally have 6 of his books, but I would definitely go with the Energy Bus.
Okay, so we're going to do the Energy Bus.
Yep, the Energy Bus is his first one, and they all kind of, in the long run, they all kind of play off of that book.
Sure.
So there's characters that get mentioned throughout the other books. So the Energy Bus is a good place to start, and I have told people that I think that book is life-changing.
Awesome. Okay, so is everybody good with that? Put your hand up if you're like, yeah, I would totally invest $12 or whatever it is, and there probably are some used ones. If it's an old book, there are probably used ones for less than that you can find on Amazon. So let's do that. So if you can look at that book, Patrick, PJ, what do you think? How long are the chapters? Should we do 2 chapters by next Wednesday? Should we do 3?
Chapters are like a page or 2. It's super easy to read as books. They're fast. It's hard to put them down because you're like, well, it's 2 pages for a chapter. Why not read one more?
Okay. So what should we do for next week, guys? What can you guys all commit to? If they're 1-page chapters.
I'm ordering it right now. It might take a bit to get here.
That's
I
true.
think
It might take a
I
couple.
think we can go to chapter 10.
Go to chapter 10. So order it tonight if you can. Get it. Usually they come, we do Amazon Prime. Even, we're not even members of the Prime or whatever. We can get it in 2-day shipping. And it isn't even free, I think, for shipping sometimes. So The Energy Bus by John Gordon. There we go. He's got that too. And I listened to some YouTube and I'm like, this looks so good. Like he was the guy, the author was talking. I'm like, ooh. And he like talks to NFL teams and he talks to a lot of businesses. So it's going to be really, 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 really good. So I'm excited.
Actually, one thing about the book, The Energy Bus and John Gordon, 2 years ago, the #1 pick for the NBA draft was interviewed after Duke won the Final Four. And when they interviewed him, they talked about him turning his schooling around because when he was asked to come to Duke and given a full ride scholarship, his grades were not, they were good, but when he got into college, he got into trouble with them. And they asked specifically, what did you do to turn that around? Because there really was a point in his college career where he went from almost failing out a full ride scholarship to getting to straight A's. And they're like, what'd you do? The coach for Duke told him, I want you to read the book, The Energy Bus. And he said that right in the interview after they won the Final Four. He said, that book changed my life. It told me that I'm in charge of what I do every day. Mm-hmm. And he went straight A's and became the #1 pick in the NBA draft.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So boom, right there. There's proof for you. It works if you listen to it and do what it says. Cool. So let's do that, PJ. Thank you so much for, being that, whatever you want to call it, that awesome, you were the one that messaged me about it. I'm like, let's do it. Tell me more about it. Let's go for this. This is awesome. That's why More Minds and teams are so awesome, because everyone brings such a great piece and such a talent to the team that, John and I certainly don't have it all. That's why it's so awesome to have all of you guys. So we really thank you, PJ, for that. So let's order the book, The Energy Bus by John Gordon. And let's plan to, now I don't know about The Energy Bus. Is that like a chapter, a page a chapter, or is that a little bit longer?
I think they're pretty close. If they're much longer, some of them maybe 5 pages.
Okay.
Put it this way. The book is 34 chapters and it's 155 pages.
Okay.
So not very many pages per chapter on average.
Okay, so for some of us, like we see ours will not come till Monday. Like John just looked it up. So if all of your guys won't come till Monday, then let's at least get through the first 2 chapters. How about that?
But you have, now that I bought it on Amazon,
Oh, you can read some.
I get the Kindle version of it so I can start.
Oh, so if you do it on Amazon, get the Kindle version. So let's say at least let's go for 2 chapters.
I'm saying they give you the Kindle version to start with. Start it so that you can start reading.
And if for those of you that don't get the book, you still tune in because you'll hear our conversations and something will definitely spark in you. I don't know why you wouldn't want to get the book, but for whatever reason, if you couldn't, at least still tune into next week and listen and hear what you hear. So that's awesome. All right, so let's definitely do some Success Wednesdays. So who wants to go first? Let's see. I'll call you out. Jennifer Hollis, are you there? Can you unmute yourself, honey? Or I can unmute you too. Do you know? So at the very bottom left.
Click up here.
Can I do it right on there?
Right click.
Right click.
Right click. Unmute.
Unmute. Okay, there you go.
Hi. Sorry. Trying to do this from my phone.
It's all right.
My success for this week, getting on this phone call. It's been a crazy, crazy busy week. Still working full time and doing this full time, and 3 kids and lots of activities. And I did add 1 DT as well. got my dad to finally focus on the business sense of this. He's a business guy. He's a numbers guy. And have a lot of potentials working. We're having another wine party tonight, or tomorrow night, wine and wrap party. And just a lot of busy going on. And earlier today, I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to go to bed. You know, I lay my little guy down at 7:30, and I wanted more than anything just to go to sleep right next to him and call it a day and say, oh, I'll watch the recording tomorrow. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? If I don't, I'm going to lose my motivation, and I'm not going to stick with it. And so I'm going to mull through. I lay down and took like a little 15-minute snooze to reboost my energy, and here I am.
Awesome. Well, you know what? That's a celebration right there. That's success that you decided to be on and not say, you know what, I'm going to go not be on. So that's awesome. And you're going through a lot. So we're going to continue to pray for you. You have a specific thing that came up in your life. So we're going to continue to pray for you on that too. So, and you just went Ruby, and your paycheck, you should have seen the $1,000 bonus there, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay! Go girl. That's awesome. Way to go.
It was definitely the highlight of my day.
That's awesome. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing, Jennifer. How about Lakeisha? Lakeisha, what's your success? So Jennifer, just give me a thumbs up, or I suppose you're unmuted yet. Did you bring on your dad this past week? Oh, we don't see her on video anymore. I know she said she brought her dad on. Was it this past week, Jennifer?
Yes, it was.
Okay, because we're going to do that drawing. Like I said, I need numbers for all the customers and distributors that came in, because we're doing a drawing every single week. So awesome. Any little customers that you want me to write down?
Not quite yet.
Okay, awesome. Way to go on your dad. Okay, Lakeisha from Detroit, Michigan. She did, I know what your success, at least one should be from last night.
I have a lot, like more than I expected to have. I did a Fat Fighter demonstration on Facebook, and I got a lot of people to watch that video. Volunteered to host a live party yesterday. I actually had my very first rap party at my house Monday. Only my mom and stepdad showed up, but I did it. I booked my first vendor event. That's going to be the 24th through the 26th of this month. The whole weekend. It's a 3-day event. So, and today, the grocery store. That was so cool. I had to go to the grocery store to get some last minute things for my daughter's birthday party. And the cashier saw the lanyard I had in my purse, and she was asking, like, well, does that really work? And I was telling her, well, you know what, actually it does. So I was showing her my personal results, and I gave her a Blitz card, and then she asked me if I had a catalog. So I told her I did. Give me a second and put my groceries in the car, and I would come back in. So I came back in the store with my catalog and I had these little things. I made these books up, and they're just before and after pictures of different products that people can see. And I showed her both of them, and she flipped through them, and she was really excited, and she found some products, but she had like one of those reloadable prepaid cards, and she didn't have enough money on her actual card. But I was able to get her contact information. And she haven't quite added me to Facebook yet, but she said when she get a break on her job that she will add me to Facebook. She took my name and we exchanged numbers, so I'll give her a couple days and probably follow back up with her. I messaged a lot of people, everybody that showed up for the Facebook Live party that I invited. I thanked them in private messages and asked them for their honest opinions, and they gave me feedback. I had 2 people who were very interested in being a distributor. One person said she's going to sign on the 20th. Another person said she's waiting a little longer. She's still getting information, but still show interest. One person is very interested in the wraps, and another person is very interested in the greens. So Friday, I have one young lady that's signing as a distributor, and one person that's signing as a loyal customer. So it's been a very successful week.
I was gonna say, let's give her a shout out. Seriously, that's awesome, Lakeisha. Seriously, she was one of my helpers on the Facebook Live, and she'd never done it and was totally willing to do it. So way to go, girl. Everything you want is outside of your comfort zone, girl. So I can't wait to be shouting out and seeing all these promotions that you're going to be having because you're continually stepping out. Way to go. Awesome. Okay, Janet, Dino, you girl. And let's try to do about a minute. I know it's hard. Minute-ish to share your Wednesday success, your success today or from this past week. And you have to unmute yourself unless you want me to unmute you. Here, let me try here. Unmute.
Oh, you did Jennifer Hollis.
Whoops. Sorry, I did Jennifer Hollis. Sorry. I stink at this stuff. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. All right, your turn, Janet.
I just want to say hi to everybody, and look who's home from the hospital.
Terry's home. Yay!
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
a busy week. Success for the week, I saw what I got paid, and I was pretty excited, even though it was about $25. I thought that was pretty darn good. And I blitzed a bunch of people today at Mankato, because Terry had some errands to run, and it was just, I'm getting more and more excited about it every day.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm glad to see Terry's home from the hospital. That's great. Praise the Lord.
Yep.
He had cellulitis, so he was in the hospital with
Oh no.
yeah, with
Yes.
IV antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty serious, that cellulitis.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's
Mhm.
awesome. Way to go. And way to be on tonight with everything that's going on, being no excuses.
Right. Yep.
Very, very proud of you.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Liam wants to say goodnight.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Right.
Okay, Colleen. Thanks, Janet, for sharing your Wednesday success. Colleen and Joe. Good night.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
It's kind of been a slow week at this house, but not too bad. I guess for myself, I went back to my loyal customers and I looked at everyone's perk points because I always forget about perk points, and I reminded my customers of those perk points and try to get their auto shipments moved up to the beginning of the month. A couple of them did that. We have been really trying hard to get our 2 loyal customers for tomorrow night's wrap party. So
Yes.
I know Joe had talked to a couple of people at work today. I handed out some of the invites at my work. I blitzed a couple of people at the store or at the mall the other day, and I just get nervous and mumbly, and so I'm not good at it, obviously. So, but I did it.
That's right. You know what? Raise your hand if you're comfortable blitzing. Raise your hand if you love to blitz.
PJ, put your hand down.
PJ, we all get sweaty. We all go, oh my goodness, heart palpitation city. But we do it. And because the reason we do it is because we're going after our dreams. And we're doing it because we know we have a gift that we're offering people in better health and in total financial freedom. Which, Lakeisha, that reminds me of your gal from the grocery store. You need to say, and by the way, did I ask you if you need to make extra income or want to make extra income? So even though she talked about the wraps and didn't have money for the wraps, you need to say, and by the way, I never even asked you, did you want to join my team and like start making extra income? So
Well,
don't
that's why I got her contact information. I didn't want to do it all at the same time.
Sure.
I figured if we had time to follow up that event, it would come up. I just
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. And people say they don't have money to become a customer. That's a great sign that, oh my goodness, you got to say, oh, and did I totally forget to ask you if you wanted to join my team and make some extra income? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Colleen and Joe.
I guess I didn't sweat during this blitz, but I took our daughter today to go get her driver's license. And the guy and she drove my car that has, my magnets on it, and then my entire inside is full of Greens Chews wrappers and Greens packet wrappers and all that. And then I found out that he knows my dad. My dad's done business with him and everything else. And so I was like, oh, thanks so much for today. She didn't pass her test, but he was really nice about it. And, it was devastating. Darn roundabouts in Mankato.
Those are the worst. I would fail if I had to take my driver test today with those roundabouts. Parallel parking. Oh man.
That's why Liz has a chauffeur today, though.
That's why John's my chauffeur.
I have Joe.
That's awesome.
But yeah, after that, he was like, "Well, what is your stuff all over your car?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, my car is a mess." But no, blitzed him, gave him a package of greens, and I said, "Thank you. We'll see you next week for the retest."
There you go. That's awesome. You could have offered him a little confianza, because I'm sure it's very stressful to sit in the car with those practice drivers. Can you imagine? Oh,
right.
I said that we test drove a car, and I said to the guy, I'm like, do you ever have crazy drivers? He's like, yeah, we've had a few of those.
Joe says yes.
You're like, you're trusting your life is totally in the hands of the driver. It's like, oh man, and you don't even know him.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, anything else, Colleen and Joe?
I don't think so. I think that would be about it.
Awesome. Way to go. Way to get out there and way to do it. That's awesome. Okay, how about Megan? Here, I'll unmute you. Okay. Well, it shouldn't. Okay, I didn't do the right one somehow. Okay, there you go.
Okay. All right. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. We could. Now we're not. Maybe go to another part of your house. Maybe go to another part of your house. It's very in and out.
Real big success lately. I've had a friend that said she wants to buy them. Otherwise, I just try to I can.
Okay, we heard only the last part. You sound like you were drunk the first part, totally slurring.
That's kind of all I've gotten to.
Yeah, oh man. So we just caught the last part of that. Did we lose her now? Oh, she's over here now. Look at that. She's swapping places. It's like the Brady Bunch screen here going on.
Brady Bunch.
Are you there, Megan? Okay, well we'll keep in with you, Megan. If you can get to a better place, maybe out in the yard, hold your hand straight up or something, and maybe you can get better reception. Yeah. Okay, how about Stephanie Francis?
Hello?
Is that you, Megan? Are you there, Megan?
I'm here.
Okay, try that again. We heard the last very end part.
I think we better.
I think it's not going to work, Megan.
Okay.
All right.
So is
maybe go in the chat. There's that chat room. Click on the chat and then type up your success. Sarah Stoddard, let's go to you, honey.
Hi, did I do it?
Yay!
Yay! I'm like trying to, my phone is not working very well. Storm, I think. Anyways, okay, successes. I've been blitzing people in person, which of course nobody loves to do, but I've just, I don't know, been trying to step out of my comfort zone and do that. I was having a super good day yesterday, I think it was, and we went a couple different places and just, I was scared and I still handed out the stuff. I'm like, if I'm scared, that's probably a good thing. So I just sucked it up and I handed the stuff out, and then I've been even just asking some of my people on like Facebook and Instagram questions that I hadn't really been ready to ask. So getting some positive feedback. I haven't really had anyone get like grumpy or anything with me. So yeah, I'm just excited.
Awesome. Yeah, for us locals, we have a Thursday night party every single week. So I love it when you look at your game plan sheet that I think I took a picture, a screenshot of, and it's also in your document library. It's the game plan. It's your crew sheet or whatever. I think it's called like It Works Crew's game plan. So a part of it is wrap party scheduled for this week. We never have to worry about that because it's boom. Every Thursday, we know we have a wrap party happening with our team local. And so I encourage all of you that are non-local to just have something every single week because it's a great reason to walk into a store. It's a great reason to check out and say, hey, we got an event this Thursday. I'm hosting an event this Thursday. Can I give you a flyer? Can I give you some coupons for that? So it works out so very well, and it just gives you a reason to chat with somebody too. In confidence, Sarah Stoddard was over here the other night for our leadership gathering, and we talked about, what do you think, or how do you think when you walk into a store, you walk into something, you're shopping or whatever, and you just say to somebody, I said to Sarah, it would be considered like a cold call. Like, this is not a warm, when you're talking to your warm market, when you walk into a store, that's a cold call or cold talk, or whatever you want to call it. And I think I've had a lot of great success with that. I think it's because I'm confident. I'm extremely confident. I just walk in, big smile on my face. How you doing today? We have an event this Thursday at Rasmussen College, and I would absolutely be honored if I could give you some flyers for it and some coupons. How many can I give to you? I just simply ask that, and they'll be like, oh, okay, sure, great, 6, and then I hand it to them. And then if I have a great conversation with the person, I'll just even say to them, hey, can we connect on Facebook? Can we be friends on Facebook? And I think at the end of the day, it's a confidence thing. I think if you just go in there so very confident, just totally confident, people are more willing to do what you ask them to do. So I love it, Sarah. Way to go, girl. Way to be out there. Way to step out of your comfort zone. Okay, Stephanie Francis, how about you, girl? Share some successes.
I have a couple parties set up. I'm usually not a party girl. So what I did is I reached out to my loyal customers, and I said that even though you're a loyal customer, I'd offer you a free wrap to host a party. So I have 2 set up, and one of them is actually interested in maybe becoming a distributor. She sells Norwex. And so I met her at a vendor show, and she became a loyal customer. So that's exciting. So she's actually been asking more questions about like the comp plan and what if there's quota or inventory or stuff like that. So I didn't realize the conversation would turn into that after asking if she wanted to host a party. So I'm excited for that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Way to go. Way to get out there and do the party thing. That's awesome. Way to go, girl. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, how about, let's see, Carrie, can you talk now? I know she was putting down a child. And then we have 2 people joining by phone as well. Some 952, I think that's more cities numbers, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Carrie, are you available? Can I unmute you?
Sure, you can unmute us.
Okay, you're already unmuted. You unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I think I found the button.
Awesome. So how are you doing? How are your successes for this past week?
Well, I bathed my child twice, so that's a success in my book.
You didn't kill your child today. That's a success, right? You survived.
Yes. No, on Saturday I had our local police department hosted a gathering for the community. So I went out in all of my gear and stuff and talked to some people and I'm kind of a smiley, say hi to everybody that I meet person, or at least I like to think I am most of the time. So I talked to a few people and handed out my daycare card, which has my It Works information on the back, so I secretly blitzed them, and they just maybe don't know it yet. But I gave those out. And
phantom blitzing.
Yes, yep.
You just kind of throw stuff wherever, and the racks, and I love it. That's awesome.
And I hung up some cards when I went to the bank today and contacted a bunch of my loyal customers. I have a few shout outs for tomorrow that I need to do on Facebook for customers that have stuck it out for a year, so they get that 150. So give them a little recognition and post the hundreds of points that they have so other people go, oh, I want those points.
What a great idea. And you're covering 2 of the 3 R's. You're covering recognition and retention. Because why would we want to sign up our loyal customers and then leave them to go? You know what I mean? We want to keep them engaged and keep them ordering, right?
Exactly.
So covering 2 of the 3. Way to go, Carrie. Awesome. Anything else there that you want to share?
Nope. We're going to finish our book and go to bed, I think.
Awesome. Way to be on, girl. Way to be on. All right. How about our 920 number? We have 2 more people, unless we can get Megan to be able to be clear and not sound like you're totally drunk. Who's our 920?
You were unmuted for a minute there. There you go.
There we go.
Hey, can you hear me? It's Jenny Crockless.
Oh, Jenny Crockless from Wisconsin.
Hey, I know I was taking my son to Grandpa's. They're going on a fishing trip, so I had to tune in the car today. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
so successes. Oh, okay, I had to take it off the speaker so that you can actually hear me. So, successes this week. You know, this last week I started this thing. It wasn't really business related, but it ended up playing over into my business. I started reading a book, and it's called 21 Days of Loving Your Husband Unconditionally. And it is giving me a task every day to do for my husband. And the whole concept of it is to change your mindset of you do something for him so that he does something back to you. No, that's not what we want to do. You want to do something for him just because you love him unconditionally, whether he recognizes it or not. So some of them are like secret things that you do. And what I'm finding, which is awesome, which is totally how the book wants it to go, is that then that plays over where I'm looking for more things to do for him, because it just feels great to love somebody and do things special for them, even if you don't expect anything in return. So the cool part about it is how it played over in my business is I was like, you know, it feels good to do stuff for other people no matter what. So this week I've really focused on just trying to connect with all of my friends on Facebook. And I know that we're told to do that quite a bit too, but really just to pop in and say, hey, how's it going? Or I really loved that you did this, or you're such a great mom because of this. You know, or maybe I see that somebody was, like just the other day, I had a friend who just had a really bad day. So I just popped over with some cookies, you know, like something like that, where I'm trying to just really connect with people more on that level, which has been awesome. I've actually gotten 2 messages this week from people saying, oh, you're so inspiring, Jenny. Thanks for doing this. Not business related, but I think it's definitely going to play over in the, you know, how I kind of want to brand myself as that person, if that's how they're going to look at me. So that's my success for so far.
What was the book called? I love that.
21 Days of Loving Your Husband.
I looked over at John with googly eyes.
I know. And John, you should definitely encourage her to get that book, because it does tell the wife to go buy some new lingerie. So
lingerie? I don't wear any clothes.
Yeah, there you go.
And there we go.
And that's a wrap.
We got things to do over here.
I love that, Jen. That's awesome.
That reminds, I don't know what the book was called, but in Fireproof, the movie.
Yes,
they
the Love Dare.
Had something similar in there to that. So that's cool. I like
that. Yep.
And isn't that true, Jenny? I love that you shared that. Isn't that true that just with your husband, how that can totally transfer into your business too?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and it's definitely, we've always been, some of you know this already, but like for me and my husband, it's always been like my dream for us to be like Liz and John, you know, where Brandon's right next to me working the business. And I think that's not going to happen. And I had it like, and that bothered me the last couple of months, thinking that that's not the part that's going to happen. My husband is more than willing to watch the kids when I'm pushing or helping teammates push for something. He is more than willing to help around the house, but just really has no interest whatsoever in learning anything about the company. He'll take the products I give him, but he'll be like, what did you just give me? Oh, okay. So, you know, and that totally, you could just see the devil working in my head about how, oh, I want to bring him home, but yet he's not going to do this like other couples do it. And it was one of those things where, that's what led me to this book, where I said I just need to change that mindset that's going on in my head of that negativity that's coming out of me. So yeah, it's been really cool kind of to realize some of those gifts again in my husband, that aren't always the gifts I want, but definitely the gifts that God knows we need together. So yeah.
Well, and you know what? I love that. And you know what? Not every couple does this together. Not, at least you don't maybe see the man, you know what I mean? Or maybe there's the man and not the woman doing it. She's more like taking care of the kids, and it's just the man that gets on and does the Zooms and all that. I see that both ways. So it's actually, it doesn't mean that he can't come home or retire or rewire from his business, but he just is he's the one that's keeping the house flowing, if that makes sense.
Right.
Doing the things, like taking things off your plate so that you can be the face of the business, if that's your strength, if that makes sense.
Yep, totally. Yep.
You don't have to look at it as, well, he needs to be on the Zooms with me or doing everything with me. That doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That doesn't matter. If he's home and he's just helping help with the kids, and he's doing projects around the house or whatever, that's awesome too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. Thank you, Jenny. That was awesome. What a great.
Yeah, that was cool.
A great tip, and the book, and just such awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny.
Definitely use some new lingerie. So.
New lingerie. Okay, did the other phone number, did they leave?
I think so.
We were calling them out. They're getting nervous, maybe. Okay, how about let's try Megan now. Megan, shall we try you again? And just see if you don't sound like you're drinking a bunch. She's not gonna like me. Okay, Megan, let's try it.
Okay. What did you guys last hear?
We heard something like, when I get the time to do it, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I do what I can when I get the time to do it, but I try to always make time to at least talk to 3 people every day, whether I'm messaging through Facebook or just bumping into someone at the grocery store or something. But I try to do it mostly through Facebook because, like everyone else has said, it's terrifying talking to people in public. But other than that, I'm just trying to keep in touch with the people that said they want to join but have to wait till they have money to join and things like that.
Okay, and you know about the pre-selling of wraps?
Yeah. Yes. I've talked to people about that too. I have one girl over in not Washington, Idaho, that wants to become a distributor, and I was talking to her about that too. And she's on the fence right now, but I think she's leaning more towards saying yes than no. So yeah, awesome. That's what I've got.
Cool.
Well, good. That's awesome. That's great. That's a great success to share. So I'm glad we could hear you. Could hear you this time. All right. So Patrick or PJ, was there another? I know you talked about your brothers, but what about you for success this week?
As far as successes goes, I've probably got about 4 or 5 people that I have been working on for a while, and they're finally coming to me saying, "Yeah, I'm going to sign up." And they're not the ones that are going to sign up right there and then, because they're definitely people that don't like to talk in front of like public groups or whatever. But they've come up to me in the public and been like, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to sign up." So I've got at least 4 or 5 more LCs that will hopefully sign within the next week. So that's pretty big success. 2 of actually my mom's LCs that just got their products within the last week have been saying, I've been drinking the greens, and for the last 3 or 4 days, I don't really want to say anything, but I think they're making me feel better. So 3 or 4 days, and people are saying, "Hey, I think it's making me feel better." So that's a huge success, because it's only going to make more people want to know where to get it.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that when people say that. Like, I think it might be, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, I am for sure it's that.
Let me give it another week or something like that. So
that's still pretty quick.
That is awesome. Well, I've heard people say like that first day, like, "Oh my goodness, I feel great."
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Actually, like John, I've told you, the both of you, I believe, about my mom's success personally with the greens. She has like joint pain and all sorts of different things that are going on, and the doctors can't really figure out what it is. So she's taking the equivalent of 40 aspirin a day.
Oh my goodness.
Recommended by the doctors, and she's been taking the greens, and the joint pain's going away, and she herself has reduced the amount of aspirin she's taking. So she's noticed huge results from it.
Otherwise, she's going to start having liver pain pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what about like the Relief? Has she tried the Relief at all? Or the New You? People often say, like, people who have muscle pain, body pains, body aches, they love the New You. And I noticed that. Like, when we were off the New You, I felt more achy. And then I got back on the New You. And I'm like, oh, I feel like $1 billion.
Yeah, she got her first 4 customers. I think she's actually on like 7 customers now, but she got her first 4 customers in the first week, so she was able to get the $120 product credit or 120 per points. So I think she got New You and Relief. There were a couple of different things she wanted to try, so she was going to get all of it with that. So
awesome. Cool. Yep. All right, so is there anybody that did not tell me if they got loyal customers and distributors from this week? Because I wanted to do a drawing for this first week. I said we're going to do a drawing every single week for everyone who brings on loyal customers and distributors. So is there anyone that did not tell me that needs to tell me? I mean, Jennifer Hollis gave me hers, but is there anybody else that needs to? And if you do, you can do it in our thread, in the June 30-day push thread, so that I make sure that I get that done. But I do have a challenge right now. I want all of you guys, all y'all, to get off this Zoom, and let's see, by 10 o'clock, I want you to book as many coffee dates / it can be coffee dates, it's just getting together with different people, whether it's at a party style, whatever it is, some kind of appointment, if you want to call it, or a gathering. Whoever sets up the most by 10 o'clock, put it in that thread. We're going to do a drawing for that. So we're going to get off this right now. You have a half an hour to message out to people. And when you by 10 o'clock, you post in that June 30-day push group how many either parties or coffee dates you set up to sit down with these people and talk to them about the business, the loyal customer, whatever. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to say to the person, like, I want to sit and tell you about my business. You can just say, hey, it's been a while, bud or girlfriend. I'd love to just have coffee with you this, next week, and set it up. So you have to actually set it up on your calendar, and it has to be an actual yes, for sure, I'm going to meet with you. And try to get those done, try to get those meetings within this next week. So like before next Wednesday, see if they won't sit down with you during that time. Okay, does that sound good? So by 10 o'clock, post in the thread how many appointments, whatever you got set up, and then I'll do a drawing tomorrow for that. But then also, if you have loyal customers or distributors from this last week, make sure you also post those in there with their ID numbers so that I can do that drawing as well. Sound good? Anybody have any questions on what to say when you reach out? Are you guys all a part of the scripts to send out thread? There's a big thread that has scripts to send out. So if there's something, I'll throw one up there though in the June push. I'll give you guys a few ideas. Okay? So thank y'all for getting on, for your time, for investing, for being a no excuse person who wants to go somewhere in their business and stop sitting on the sidelines. So I'm super excited. And the contest begins now. Night, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for the fun.